me in your Bibles Exodus chapter 19. I wasn't going to go there, but I think I am. Just older than this. This is 19. I just want to open and read 19 and 20. This is an opening context of the wrath. So last week was Abraham and the covenant of faith being established and enacted in the earth. And we went all that, so I'm going to reteach you that. Tonight we're going to move from the covenant of Abraham and faith into the significance of the law. We move from Abraham to Moses. We're going to do this rapidly, so we're from Genesis to Exodus. I'll just fill in a brief narrative. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Jacob is Israel. Jacob had 12 sons, and we know the story, right? So Joseph is sold into slavery. He finds, after 14 years of suffering, finds favor with Pharaoh. God redeems him. All the nations come to him. He has blessing. He has privilege. And Pharaoh dies, and 430 years go by. From covenant of faith to the law. And you look at this, we go from Babel to Abraham. Abraham is the first seed of the kingdom of faith. The gospel of the covenant is enacted in Abraham, and remember, he's the seed sown. He grows into Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Jacob has 12 sons, and now we have Joseph. And we're just going to go from all of that into, just for sake of time, into 430 years later. Pharaoh dies, new Pharaoh comes, forgets, as the word says, the favor that he had, and oppression began. The numbers began to grow exponentially there, so they became a threat. So then they became slaves, and then 430 years of hard labor under Pharaoh. But God was working in all of this, his purpose and his plans, and had a great intent. And it was really the sovereign plan of redemption. It had to come. Isaac was Israel. Israel became a nation, but before they could become a called out community of faith and chosen people, they had to find their identity, who they were. And it happened under the most intense, extreme conditions of slavery, torture, and yet they still band together as Hebrew people. Moses thought that he would deliver them at 40 years of age. Stephen tells us in the book of Acts. And he was mistaken. Yes, he was a deliverer, but not at 40, at 80. So he murders one, runs off in the desert. We know what happens in the burning bush. And now he has gone, done what God told him to do, has brought the children of Israel through the Red Sea, and they've camped for about 3 months inside, on the other side of the Jordan, or on the other side of the Red Sea. And here we are, Exodus 19. And in the 3rd month after the children of Israel had gone out of the land of Egypt, 3rd month, on the same day they came to the wilderness of Sinai, for they had departed from Rephidim and had come to the wilderness of Sinai and camped in the wilderness. So Israel camped there before the mountain. Moses went up to God. I love that. And the Lord God called to him from the mountain, saying, "Thus you shall say to the house of Jacob, tell the children of Israel, you have seen what I did to the Egyptians, and how I bore you on eagle's wings, and I brought you to myself." From that I would say, why did God bring the children of Israel out of Egypt? Not to go to the promised land. That's part of it. Brought them to himself. It's never the inheritance of stuff, it's always God. God is the gospel. We get God. And you always hear me say that it is him. And remember, we learned that with Abraham last week. It wasn't the promise, Abraham. I will be your inheritance, he says. Now he's reiterating this to them. You're coming out, you're going to a land that I will show you. You will be this chosen people. You are the race that I've called, but I'm bringing you to myself first. You're going to meet with me first. And notice last week the word came and then God appeared after obedience happened. The word came to Moses. He spoke. They moved. Like Abraham from Ur of the Chaldeans, by himself with his entourage. Now it's 4 million people estimated are moving at the highest, 1 million at the lowest estimations. We're moving with this man. So this, as you see, the propagation of the seed of Abraham is now birthed into millions of people. And it's still the same thing. The word comes, they still have to get up and move. As a matter of fact, they had to move in haste with their sandals on their feet, their staff in their hand. And they had to move quickly, just like Abraham had to. And then they come in quickly, and now 3 months they're camped, and God then appears on a mountain. I love that. And it's really so now they can worship. Remember Abraham, God appeared, and Abraham can worship. Now he's appearing to the community of faith. Now they can worship as a whole. So we see this happening now. Let me pick up where I was at. I brought you to myself, verse 5. Now therefore, if you will indeed obey my voice and keep my covenant, then you shall be a special treasure to me above all people. For all the earth is mine. You shall be to me a kingdom of priests, a holy nation. These are the words which you shall speak to the children of Israel. God's intent for covenant is always community. It's never individual. It's never the individual. So when you look at your notes, look with me, and I'll get into this a little bit further. I want to bring this point out quickly since we're reading that right there, kingdom of beast. In your notes, we have the significance of the law. Wherefore now the law, Galatians 3:19. And we ask that question, wherefore now the law? Why now the law? When there was faith. Why did not Christ come at the time of Abraham in 1900 BC? Why did he have to do this? Abraham had the faith, right? He believed God. It was counted unto Abraham for righteousness. So you have all the attributes of salvation present in Abraham for justification. Because it's never about the individual. It's always about the corporate whole, the good. All the earth is God's. All the nations one day will exalt in joy and triumph. So it's always about what God is doing. When God looks at you and when God looks at me, he doesn't just see you. He doesn't just see me. He sees generations through us. And the blessing that he puts on us is going to the third and fourth generation. If a curse can, how much more a blessing? So God is interested in your children's children's children. It's always bigger than the individual. Always. So why did not Christ come? Now here's, you can go to the next one, Missy. I'll go into this in a moment. Just go ahead and pull that up, and I'm going to say this. Here's the thought when it comes to the covenant of God and what God did with Abraham. It is a covenant. And many people go into the covenant, the law, the ordinances, the ceremonial things, and I'm going to go through that in a moment. But what I want you to see is there is one continuum from faith to believing. Believing is faith in action.